So, hey everyone, welcome to the Average Joe Show!
Wow! Wait! Welcome to the Christmas episode of A Lifetime.
Ooh.
Just kissing. Just kidding. I'm just kissing, bro. Just kidding. Welcome to the Boxing Day episode of A Lifetime.
What?
Shout out to all the Canadians out there. You better be snagging on those good old shopping deals wherever.
Ooh.
I'm not sponsored by anything, but I know Boxing Day is the day of deals. The deal!
Wow.
Merry Christmas.
Today, we have simple drinks.
I got Mountain Dew.
I got a Dr. Pepper.
I got vanilla Coke.
Today, we are talking about
Arkham Origins. You might have saw it last Thursday, but we played it. Whoa.
Yeah, we did. I was about to say a quick run through of it, but
No, it wasn't.
yeah, it was like
It was not.
it was not quick.
It was not quick.
We looked at like speed run. We looked at speed runs of like records, and they're like, oh, they're getting it in like an hour and a half to 2 hours. And like we could do like 2.5 or 3.
It took us like 5 hours.
It took us more than 5 hours.
10 hours.
Yeah.
Oof. But yeah, so now we're going to be actually talking about it because, whoa, if you didn't know, it's based on Christmas Eve. Ooh.
Yeah, and this is the Christmas Eve episode.
Yeah.
The Christmas after.
Christmas post episode.
So there's like the Christmas Eve. Christmas Adam is before Christmas Eve. Then there's Christmas, which is sort of like Abel. And then Christmas Cain is the day after.
Yeah.
That's a little Bible joke for you.
Wow. But yeah, we're just going to talk about it. Probably want to do like the full run through of the whole story because it's a simple story. So basic story premise is that it's Christmas Eve, like it's the night of Christmas Eve.
What's the night before Christmas?
If I would have planned it, I would have totally made something like that.
I got this.
Okay.
Let me pull up the story actually. Let me
Of Arkham Origins?
No. Of like the Christmas story, like the night before Christmas story. You ready for this? 'Twas the night before Christmas, and all throughout Gotham, not a creature was stirring. Just kidding. Hold up. 'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through Gotham, a bunch of creatures were stirring, even a bat. All the neighborhoods were filled with gunfire and dismay.
I think
In hope that Batman will come out and play.
This sounds like Arkham Knight.
Now I have to start over. 'Twas the night before Christmas, and all throughout Gotham, not a civilian was stirring, but there was a bat. All of the neighborhoods were filled with criminals and anarchists and mob bosses galore, and hope that Batman would soon implore.
Would soon be no more.
Yeah, in hopes that Batman would soon be no more, because it's.
But yeah, premise of the game: day before Christmas Eve, 8 assassins are hired to kill the Batman for $50 million, and yeah, it's just you as the Batman trying to not die and also stop everyone from killing other people.
General thoughts of the game. When I first played this, like when it came out in 2013?
Yeah, 2013. 2013 in November.
Yeah.
I think it was like November 16th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I remember playing it and having lots of fun with it because I'm like, oh, this is just boss battle the video game. And then it turned out it wasn't when I replayed it again. But,
I mean, the boss battles are like at their best in this one for the most part. Like this game has like the better ones compared to all the other ones. Because in night it's tank battles. City, it's like only Freeze and Ra's al Ghul are good fights.
Yeah.
All the other ones are kind of whatever. And then Asylum, they had to put them in last minute, so we know how great those ones are.
But it's a fun little game where like I don't know. I thought it was great. Just ripping around Gotham City, Christmas Day, meeting fun characters and seeing characters that weren't really that I had like really no knowledge of. Like Firefly, that was the first introduction to Firefly for me. Or like
Copperhead.
Yeah, Copperhead, Loose Lips, whatever his name is.
Oh, Ricky Loose Lips.
Yeah.
Best boy of the game.
Oh yeah.
I remember being so hyped for the game.
Oh yeah. I remember trailers coming out for this. So yeah.
Yeah, I was so hyped, and I remembered. I think I was gonna get it like pre-ordered because I remember me and Dad went to Walmart, and I almost got like one of those like little tags where it has like a code on it, and you can redeem it to like download it on the PS3. But then I was like, no, I want a physical one. And I remember just like buzzing with excitement because then it was like, oh, I'm going to school tomorrow and it's not going to be there and I'm going to cry and I won't be able to play it. And I was like freaking out about it. And I remember Dad picked us up from school or something. And I was like, Dad, when can we go to Walmart? We got to go get it. And he's like, oh yeah, we can go later. But also, here, take this. And it was a Walmart bag. And I knew immediately what it was. And he was like, okay, but first you gotta do the dishes, then you can play it. And I was like, okay.
This was also the game where, like, prime time of, like, I'm gonna be a YouTuber. I'm gonna be, like, I feel like Let's Plays were in, like, its all-time high. Everybody was wanting to be a Let's Player. Markiplier was cool.
Was that when Five Nights at Freddy's came out and that's when you got big?
I think so.
I'm pretty sure Game Grumps were a thing. Well,
oh yeah, Game Grumps was a thing.
Yeah,
but I think
it was like Danny and Aaron.
Yeah,
they were at their height.
It was before. It was after John left. But I just remember. Going and pulling out a little like camera, putting it on like a stool, and it. I had it framed just barely that you could see the outside of like the TV border, and
dude, that's perfect.
And then I just sat right behind the camera, and I remember turning on the game for the first time, seeing it, and proceeded to go 20 minutes of just talking about the main screen. Be like I couldn't figure out the wording for this. I'm just like. It feels like, like right before you start a movie, like all the cinematic, like music's going on. It like I can't think of the word of it, but like, and I was trying to like figure it all out. And by the time I figured it out, I went like 2 minutes into actual gameplay. And then storage was filled on the camera, so I gave up.
Oh my gosh! Well, look at us now.
Yeah, we actually committed and did the game. We followed my 14-year-old dreams.
Oh my gosh!
It was good. It was a great time.
I remember I did that with Asylum, but I was like already like halfway through the game and I didn't want to restart it, so I was like, oh, I'll just do the last Scarecrow area and I'll do it on Dad's crummy phone. Do the same thing as you.
That's funny.
It was like a tutorial on how to do it, but it's like this is the like the third and last time you're doing a Scarecrow section. You better know what you're doing. If you don't, that's kind of sad.
It's come full circle. 10 years later, everybody.
I know. Look at
insert
us.
some applauses right here.
Oh, thanks guys.
I'd like to thank this award that I've just been giving myself I give thanks to you guys, the listeners. I wouldn't have done it without you. Without my fellow co-host and my PA, and I'm sort of in awe right now.
I like how there was.
Never mind. We don't.
Please,
don't edit it in.
No, whoever's editing it, just get Hayden and just get that on and do it 5 times.
Just add a layer of it.
Only Hayden being like, oh. I love it because when you were doing the award thing, I was thinking of Arkham City was getting awards, and Joker's the one that accepted, and he's like, oh, wow, thanks for this award. I'd like to thank, who is it? Oh, me! And that's it.
I'd like to thank this award. Wow.
You want to know what sucks? He didn't win the award.
Did he not?
No, it's the the people that makes the cutscenes. They pre-made stuff, so it's all right, well, here's a lead up to it to showing who's nominated.
I think
and then there was an acceptance ones.
Because was that the same year as Uncharted 3?
Yeah, because
I remember the Uncharted 3 one where he's just water.
Yeah,
water,
he's out
and he finds his well, and he pulls up what he thinks is a bucket, and it just has a Game Award. He's hey, a trophy. Thanks, guys.
You want to know who won? Wheatley from Portal 2.
Bro, that's terrible. I like Wheatley. Wheatley was cool.
Yeah, I think it was best character, but I don't know who else was in there. Those are the only 3 that I can think of. But yeah, with because I think they released the acceptance speech, even though they didn't win it because they made it just in case. But yeah, with Jokers, it shows Batman dead on the floor, and then a podium pops up and curtains and confetti goes everywhere, and a trophy goes in his hands, and then he shows a script for a fake game called Arkham World, and he's oh, don't need any of this. Oops, spoilers.
I remember.
And would make everyone go nuts. That would have been so good, though. But yeah, anyways.
Let's continue on with the game.
Yeah. Do we want to...
You have your notes. You just...
Okay.
I'll just follow your...
Because my notes are just pros and cons. Do we want to talk about any specific things? I was going to go through cons first, because I feel we have more pros to say than cons.
Let's talk about the characters first. No.
Okay, because I have them in the pros. Because I'm I like everyone in the game. The cast is great.
When you're an ultimate fan of Batman, when nobody's a bad character.
No, I was also meaning just voice cast too. I feel no one.
My bad.
No one gives.
Pull out the Shovel Knight episode. Pull out that TikTok that Hayden made.
You spoiled it.
Oh no.
Spoils this, bro.
Rip.
Did you finish it or no?
No, I can now though. The game is setting this up.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah, so let's just go through pros and cons. Let's go through the cons first, because I feel
okay.
I have just a few things.
When I was let's just go through the characters, she's yeah, and then later on, let's go through the cons.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's go through it.
Yeah, because I just made a little bullet point list of just some stuff I didn't like. One of them yeah, I'm just gonna go through it. So I did not like the lip syncing and the live cutscenes. Not the pre-rendered ones where it's all in CG. It's where it's the game models and it goes straight into the game.
Yeah.
I didn't like the lip syncing.
Some of them were pretty disgusting.
It's just their the very tip of their lips that move and that's it. Or it's just the top lip and you grab it. Yeah. It's a fish talking, but then they don't purse their lips. It's terrible.
It's one of the most horrendous moments of that is just whenever Alfred speaks. Alfred had the ugliest looking lips.
Yeah, I think because he also talked, like, you talked to him the most in that, like that way.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, this looks nasty. And then also just, like, with the actual cutscenes, and they just look so good that it's just so, like, it's just jarring to see how terrible it looks.
Yeah. Well, like, you could see, like, the differences between the two, like... There's a pretty big difference between gameplay footage and cutscenes.
Yeah, because gameplay was like, it was like a lot more FPS. Yeah, FPS.
Mm-hmm.
While the animated stuff was just a regular 30 FPS.
Like first-person shooter?
No, frames per second. Idiot.
I know.
But yeah, because... last night I did a lot of research stuff, and that was something that someone was saying, like, oh yeah, like, it just made it very jarring going from, like, slow frame rate of, like, the cutscenes to, like, how fast it is in, like, just gameplay. But then it also wasn't fast enough where, like, it wasn't fast enough to, like, load up everything. And, like, another thing that I have on here is, actually, we can just go right into it, because my next one is gadgets, but, like, the, like, traversal stuff.
Okay.
And just, like, with gliding, how you have, like, the grapnel boost, which makes it faster for you to glide.
I never saw any problems with the traversing.
My gosh. But yeah, just gliding, it felt like you were kind of just chugging along, because it's like, all right, well, you can go fast, but you can't go too fast, because we got to load in all the buildings.
Well, like, one thing that when we first were playing, like, I'd start to, like, we tried to figure out whether or not it was the inverted, like, controls, but it wasn't that for me. Like, sometimes I just start flying down. And,
I think...
And it wasn't like the shooting to the ground, whatever you call that. Where
like
you just,
the...
like, dive bombing.
Yeah.
And it'd just be like you're gliding straight down, you're going very slow. But then, like, I try, like, pull up, and it just wouldn't work. And that's why I just randomly ran into, like, a whole bunch of random people. Randomly landed
in the game?
Yeah.
Wait, when we were just playing?
Yeah.
Really?
Sometimes I would just, like, fly down, and I would just end up on the ground with a whole bunch of people, and you're like, Sam, we need to hurry and get over to this other place.
I didn't know that's what was happening.
Yeah.
I know that it's super annoying, because that's probably when you fast travel. Because I noticed it's just him, like, gliding down. And, like, I think I'm just used to it, because it's like, I gotta hurry and dive bomb, and that will, like, reset me. Or I need to, like, grapple to, like, a different spot, and then just grab no boost off of it.
I just remember from Arkham City, you could just dive bomb and then go up, dive bomb, go up, and then you just, like, gain a ton of speed and a ton of height.
Oh, and then Night spoiled us.
With the Batmobile?
No, just a better grapnel boost, so then you can get launched into the air.
Yeah.
It's the best thing ever.
Sort of segue into a different con that I don't know if is on your list. But do you remember the promos for the game? They were so cool.
Yeah,
and
like,
I was, like, so pumped because, like, there was, like, the fight between Deathstroke and, well, the beginning is, like, Black Mask and all of his goons are, like, going over and, like, going to this one spot to, like, grab all these weapons or whatnot.
They're at, like, a freight area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're grabbing all this stuff, and Batman comes in and just do, like he does, like, the Predator sequences of just, like, stalking him and, like, taking him down, and it's super cool. And then
when we're going to be saying Predator sections, that's when it's, like, a more stealth area, and you're just, like, picking off people one by one. That's what we mean.
Yeah. But, like, as you're taking out all these guys, building blows up, and so you have to, like, jump out of the building, and then in comes Deathstroke, and it's such a sick fight sequence. And then Deadshot comes in, and he's, like, interfering.
Okay.
And he's like, hey,
what you doing?
Just, like, insert the Lego commercials, be like, hey!
No. I remember, like, it's funny because I don't remember seeing that as, like, a preview. I just remember seeing, like, the fight with Batman and Deathstroke. And then with, like, then it just ending with, like, Deadshot, like, shooting, like, just, like, Deathstroke gets his gun... What? Deathstroke gets his sword blown up by the gun, and he looks immediately at Deadshot, who's, like, way over there on a bridge, and he's like, "Duh, he's... the enemy spotted!" And that's it.
Well, I think it's funny. Like, I will always think of this because of watching Shazam. Because, like, Deathstroke, like, said, well, because Deathstroke said, like, oh, like, he's like, he's mine right now. Wait your turn or something like that. And then,
Wait, what?
And then, like, and then Deathshot, the shooty one says after the swordy one, Swordman death, and...
Wait, Shazam, what are you talking about?
Okay, let me get to the point.
You stuck your finger in my... What do you like that is gross! Anyway.
Okay, so Deathstroke says something towards Deadshot and is like, hey, stay out of this, he's mine right now, or whatever he says.
Wait your turn, idiot.
Yeah. And then Deadshot says, like, a response back, like he actually heard what he said, but he's, like, at least a couple miles away or something.
Oh,
like in the Shazam movie where they're, like, across, like a few skyscrapers away, and he's like, you'll never get away with, like my plan will be seen through, and Shazam's like, I can't hear you. It's just like...
Whatever's coming out of your mouth, can't hear you. It's not processing.
Yeah.
Nothing's happening.
Yeah. But that's... yeah.
Yeah.
But that... And it just sort of sucks because you see that promo and it's just like, oh, this is sick. This is going to be so cool. And it seems like that Deathstroke's going to be sort of like the Bane of, like... like the main, like, it seemed like it was going to be Deathstroke and Deadshot who were going to be like, or Deathstroke, Deadshot, and Black Mask who were like the three main villains of this game. But come to find out, Deadshot is just a side mission, and Deathstroke is one of the first bosses you take out.
Mm-hmm. He's one of the like he's a very good boss.
Oh yeah, he's a very good boss. Don't get me wrong.
Because
he was taken out like within the first 15 minutes of the game.
Yeah, and I think Knight didn't really help him either because he was just like instead of him making like a combat thing like in this game, he's just a tank battle.
Yeah.
And gets taken out in one hit. So I don't think it really helped. But I'm hoping with the Suicide Squad game, because, end credit scene of this game is Amanda Waller getting Deathstroke and being like, hey, buddy, you want to be part of the Suicide Squad? And he's like, I guess.
But it's different developers.
But it's the same...
universe.
Same universe, so we could possibly
developers.
see him. Or, like, something like that.
It's sort of like
we'll see.
Who knows? It could be like a Morbius thing where they try to tie in all of the other, where they try to tie in mainline MCU with the Sonyverse, and then they're just like, get out of here, Morbius. we're just gonna scoot you over to the side.
No, because in the newest trailer, they're having Arkham Knight, Kevin Conroy, Batman in it.
Is it like...
It's Kevin Conroy's last
Amy,
thing.
how many times did you play Arkham Knight?
A lot, but...
So what happens at the very, very end
Sam,
of Arkham Knight?
we can't spoil that right now. We're going to talk about it later. But no, it's just a matter of we'll see what happens.
I don't think... Okay.
Sam, we're going to be talking about all the games, and I don't want to immediately spoil everything.
Okay.
I had other, like gadgets, because there's, like, the grapnel boost that kind of sucked.
Mm-hmm.
All the new ones kind of suck. Like the concussion detonator, that one makes no sense. Like
the
that one.
concussion grenade?
Yeah, that one just sucks. Because it's like a little bomb that you throw on someone and you only have 2 of them. And it doesn't
just
even...
stuns everybody.
No, it just stuns that one person. I think in City they have it like that where it stuns everyone.
Oh, yeah.
Well, in this one, it's like sometimes it'll take out someone, while other times it'll just like knock them to the ground and then you just have to knock them like completely out. And then the shock gloves, those ones, I like them because of just how easy it makes everything. But then it's like...
But that's the problem, though.
Yeah, it makes things a little too easy because then you can like like you don't have to worry about like doing all the special stuff with like shields, like having to jump over it. Like you can just punch right through it, and like just other stuff like that.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Yeah. I will say with like the stealth or predator sections, I feel like with those ones they were all too much the same. Other than the one where it's in the bridge, like in Firefly sequence, where it's like, oh, there's no like gargoyles for you to be on, so you're mostly gonna be like under like in the grates or like running around hiding. Like that was the only unique one. All the other ones is like.
That's why you play like me and you never use the gargoyles. No. You just run in and you just start busting heads, busting skulls.
But it's like, because in all those areas, they all have gargoyles on them. Like in buildings where it's like, why did these guys have gargoyles? And like, it's not like generic gargoyles. It's like some of them are shrimp for some reason. Other ones are like wolves. And that's in like a bank for some reason.
Well, I'm pretty sure I know the exact reason why they have all those gargoyles in there, Amy. Bruce Wayne went in there. He's like, you know what, guys? I have a great idea. And they're like, we'll hear you out, Mr. Prince of Gotham. And
Mr. Prince of Gotham.
Yeah, and he's just like, what if we just put gargoyles here? You know how cool that would be? Like, just imagine being, like, talking to, like, the construction workers, be like, guys, like, all the construction workers or the contractors are just like, oh, no, it's Bruce Wayne. He's going to tell us that we should put in gargoyles. I don't see the purpose of them. They look so stupid in this room.
This room is a whole different aesthetic, and you want some gothic gargoyles up there. And he's like, no. We can change it, but just give that same look, like it's a gargoyle. But make it match the room. Like, you can make them look like wolves or something. You can make it out of gold like everything else. It doesn't have to be a gargoyle, but it can be something similar. And they're like, yeah, whatever, Mr. Wayne. We'll get it done.
And can you put those little, like cylinder posts in there that sort of stick out with a little nub out the top of it?
For the remote claw that I'm gonna get. I mean, don't worry about it.
It adds
character
stuff.
Yeah,
on.
it's a hanger. That's all that it is.
But what are you gonna hang up on the top of the room? He's like, don't worry about it.
Christmas lights, obviously, decorations. Obviously,
and then they don't use it during Christmas time.
They don't use it during Christmas or Halloween.
Yeah.
They don't use that at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like they could have at least made it look like it was more incorporated. Because, like, in City, I think they have, like, lights that stick out. And that's how they do it. Or it's, like, other things. But then in there, it's also, like, there's more places that don't have, like little like things for you to hop up on, like there's gonna be spots that have. Sorry, I was like, what the heck is that sound? But then like in City, there's like multiple spots where it's like the bridge sequence where it's like, yeah, there's nothing that you can grapple up to in here. You're gonna have to like just run around doing stuff or getting underground or like using the air vents or whatever. But then I also like in the City because, like, they have, like, lights around where it's, like, the LED ones that are just one big strip so you can just, like, crawl along there. Like, that's a good way of, like, being like, all right, well, here's, like, new stuff that you can grapple up to. So then it's not, like, taking away all the gargoyles.
Yeah. Well,
but it's still, like, something
that's sort of how, like,
Spider-Man
is. Spider-Man has, like, a whole bunch of different, like, stealth missions. Because, like... because Spider-Man can walk on walls, you can just like you have to use the walls or like different parts of the ceilings to work, and then there's like you do a lot of like stuff in like abandoned construction sites or whatever, and so you're like going across like different posts and that's pretty cool.
But also, that's like a newer game, and like this game, I read it. They only had like a year and a half to make this game, so they were like on a time crunch. And like they should have at least had like a month to like clean up everything, and then it would also been like, oh yeah, it's coming out around Christmas time, and this game is based around Christmas. Whoa, how cool! But yeah,
we can skip the next one.
Yeah, we already did traversal.
Well,
the map?
We can. That's what I meant.
This one?
Yeah.
Why? That's how I feel.
It's just, I don't know.
The world is boring. That's what I'll say. Like half of it is just like Arkham City, but then they put like snow everywhere, so everything just looks the same. The inside of buildings are unique looking, but on the outside it's like, okay, well, there's the GCPD, like, oh, I only know because of this, and then they have all the boys on top, and then it's like, oh, there's the hotel, but then it's like all the different areas don't have a unique look to them, because like, I'm just like, oh, they should have put, like, in Arkham Knight, they have like Halloween decorations up, because it's like, oh, everyone is like up and left. And it's like, for this one, why didn't they do, like, Christmas decorations? Like, more Christmas decorations. Like, in an area where there's going to be, like, more housing, they have, like, Christmas lights up. Or just something to make it look not, like, black and white everywhere.
That's fair.
Because that's what I'm saying. And it's, like, everything's covered in snow, so, like, if you do, like... If you somehow glide up really high and you're, like, looking over everything just looks the same. But then you don't want to get down into the city because then you can run into stuff. Like, things like that. And the bridge is not that fun to go across.
Yeah, the bridge is annoying when you're forced to go across the bridge. And when we were trying to, like, speed through it, we were trying to speed through it, sorry, let me say it one more time. When we were trying to speed through it, and you're not going to get all of like the like fast travel spots because you're like, oh, we just got to grind through the game.
I know that like
going back and forth on the bridge makes it sort of not fun.
Yeah, and I think because I know we could have done the fast travel stuff. Because it's like, oh, there's a fast travel spot on each island, so you could totally like. If you're, like, super far away on one island and you need to go to the other one, you can just fast travel and then go run around and do stuff.
Right.
But I got tainted by, like, one of the last times I played Arkham Origins where I fast traveled. It took 10 minutes for it to load. Like, it was in that loading screen where it's, like, him in the plane doing whatever. It was like that for 10 minutes.
I remember.
And I had to restart the game.
A long time.
I had to restart the game, and I was so mad. And I was like, I'm never fast traveling ever again. This is dumb. It's so much faster to just fly there. But then the gliding sucks too, because you're just chugging along.
Well, that's only, what, the third of, like, it's game 3 of 5, right? Or is it 3 of 4?
3 of 4.
Okay.
Yeah, this one
but
came
there's
out
a lot of time between the first 3 games and then the 4th game.
Yeah, well, so the order that all these games came out, it was Asylum, City, and then they were working on Night, but then they needed a lot more time for what they needed, but then to keep, like, interest into the game, they needed to make something in between, so that's why they made Origins, which is, like, a prequel, and then later, like, a few years later, then they came out with Night.
Right.
So that's why it was, like, kind of rushed, and, like, some things aren't polished. And I know on, like, PC, it's super buggy.
Oh, yeah.
Like, And, like, it's kind of buggy on console. Like, for us, I feel like there wasn't... This is probably the most bugs I've seen while playing it.
I like, our gameplay, there was way too many bugs.
Yeah.
Compared to, like, before.
Yeah, because when we first played it, I feel like there wasn't really anything. And then when I played on PC, I wanted to cry because that was before I, like, hooked up a controller to my computer, and I was like, the gliding sucks in this game. I don't like it. I'm gonna cry.
Oh, you just do, like,
Not like using a mouse. Yeah, mouse and keyboard, and I was like, this
that
sucks.
sounds horrendous.
Oh, dude, it was terrible.
How did you glide?
I can't even remember.
Like, do you remember, like did you move around with WASD?
Yeah, WASD, and then the mouse was like
camera.
your camera. Yeah.
Oh, that's disgusting.
Yeah, it was terrible, and I literally wanted to cry. I was like, this sucks. Let's talk about the side missions. I have mixed feelings on all of them, and some of them it's like I don't even remember what happened, so I won't put like too much of an opinion on them. I like the crime scenes. I know, like, while we were playing, you're like, oh, I hate doing the crime scenes. They suck. And this is the whole thing.
They're just so time consuming. And, like...
No, it's so fun.
Like, it's interesting. Like, the only cool part about it is, like... the retreat place for Black Mask. That,
his penthouse?
Yeah. Like, where they show the entire story play out. Mm-hmm. But, like, there's no way.
That's where it
there's no way that Batman could go through a room like that and be like, oh, there's fingerprints right there. That means that they were here. And there's also a shooter right here. You can tell that there's a shooter right here because there's these little smudge marks on the ground, and you can tell that there's a dead guy here. The dead guy right here shot the guy on the... It was just so... I think it was just overly complicated.
No.
And I don't know.
No, because a lot of
them
is
how
like...
you can put it together and make it, like, find out perfectly how it happened is just... I don't know.
I think that is one thing where it's like, oh, it's too perfect how he, like, figures it out. But it's totally like... Oh, well, there's footprints here, and there's a gunshot that's, like, at this angle, so they would have to be this tall.
Though?
No, there's, like, a gunshot, like, mark on the floor, and it's like, okay, well, from the projectile of that, it's this high, so the shooter must have been this tall, or sitting on the ground, or whatever, and it's just that kind of stuff. The side missions I didn't like, because they're all basically the same, is Penguin's arm caches, Black Mask drug stash, and Bird, who is Bane's lieutenant. They're all the same, where it's like, oh, go to this area, blow up the stash or the caches, or just beat up the boys over there. Do that, and then at the end of the, like, that mission, you fight those guys. I don't know about Penguins, though. I think Penguin leads into another one, but Black Masks is you fight Black Mask. And it's just terrible because it's like, ooh, combat section, whoa. And then Bird is just all kinds of terrible because there's like terrible EDM music in the background because you're in a club and it's like, wow, this sucks.
Just like in the Batman because that movie sucked.
Don't talk to me or my son ever again. But yeah, Penguin's arm cache leads into Blackgate prisoners, which that one's like, because Penguin's arm caches, that's the one that Barbara gives you, where she's like, hey, I found all these caches and I'll send you all the locations. Go blow them up for me, please, because I can't do it because I'm like 12. And then after that, Jim is like, hey, there's all these boys that got out of Blackgate. Can you go grab them for me? Also, I somehow have all their locations. Here you go. And then you go and beat them all up. And that's it. So all those ones are so boring. And I'm like, wow, this is great. For the ones I did like, I can't remember Deadshots that well, but I know it's better than Arkham City's. At least the boss fight.
I'm trying to think of the boss fight in Arkham City.
Oh, you're literally on a rooftop and it's just him, and you sneak under him and then take him down through a grate, and that's it.
Oh, yeah.
It sucks. Well,
that's actually very funny. I forgot about that.
No. Electrocutioner was funny and good.
Well, it's just
Deadshot in City is not. Because then you lock them up in like one of those like the little like those little trains that are up in the air. You just lock them up in one of those and that's it.
Yeah.
It's like, my guy, you killed like 3 people, and this is the boss fight we're gonna get. What the heck?
He put himself at a distance, and
then he didn't.
Well, then
the
Batman,
distance was like 3 feet away.
Yeah.
Wow. I liked Enigma in this one. I'm sad that there weren't riddles that you got to like scan.
Yeah.
But then it's also like, oh, he's not Riddler yet. And it's like with this one, they have like the audio things.
The databases.
No, so there's like the extortion files that you get, but then there's like blackmail like audio tapes in those. So like if you get however many in this area, it unlocks one for like this character. And it's like blackmail and like a bunch of characters throughout the game. Because they have like one on like Jim where he's like, oh, I don't trust anyone at like the police station. So Barbara, here's a walkie-talkie and there's people camping out outside our apartment. Just let me know if anything happens, and that's it. And then other ones, it's like, oh yeah, you get to hear Brandon like talking about whatever, and then like all the villains talking to each other and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I was very happy that he's definitely not as annoying as he is in all the other games. Because I hate him just yelling in your ear, being like, no, you're supposed to be stupid. Why are you solving all of these? What the heck? And just being mad that you're not.
That's what I love about Riddler.
No, it's so annoying. I'm just like, leave me alone.
I thought I was smarter than the Batman. Why is he foiling my plans?
No,
you're not supposed to solve this.
I hate in City at night where he goes on the TV screens and he's like, Batman, why don't you come hang out with me? When it's like, boy, there's a bomb that blew up in like the other side of the city. I need to deal with that first. Stop calling me.
He's one of those friends that are just like, hey, I know this, and this is going on, but like, come and hang out with me instead.
But like more of an annoying way instead of like an endearing way. They're too needy.
Yeah.
I liked Anarchy's one. It's very short. Yeah, but I feel like it's simple. It's short and simple, and it's nice.
You just travel from one spot to another to fight a group of people to destroy a bomb.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I feel like it's a good, like he feels like one of just, like, the people in the city. Like, he's not, like, a big bad.
Yeah.
Like Bird or Black Mask and all that stuff. He's just like fighting for what he thinks is good.
Mm-hmm.
And that stuff. And then I really like Mad Hatter's. His is so fun, and I love the camera angles.
Like,
do you remember?
I forgot what he did in Origins. I just remember what you did in City.
Yeah,
I do remember. I thought that the you have been cordially, like the whole opening bit,
so
which
good.
is
it's so good. I love it. I love it because like with his like side missions, not really in Night, but he was also like DLC. But in City and Origins, they totally duped me into being like, yeah, this is part of the main game, go do it. And I'm like, okay. Oh wait, it's a side mission? I'm an idiot. And I didn't find that out until after.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, sick, my guy.
I think every single time I played City, I've just done the Mad Hatter thing, like, immediately after.
Mm-hmm.
Like, when it pops up.
Yeah. Yeah, Origins is super fun because, like, it does a lot more with it. Because it's, like, it's kind of like in Night, how it's, like, you go into, like, a storybook. But this one, it's, like, you're, like, running around and they have, like, the cinematic, like, camera movement where it's, like, in one spot and then you're just going. And there's, like, a spot where it's, like, oh, you have to go through all these different doors, like, in Mario Party. And it's super fun. I think you should play it sometime soon. All right, now we're going to go to the fun stuff, the good things. I like the story. I feel like all of my pros are, like, super basic things, but it's, like, there's so much in it that I like. Because the story is so good. Like, it's so simple, but then it's, like, it works so good.
I like...
Like, just the overall story, not, like, the... oh, whoa, 8 assassins coming after the Batman and they're all... and like all that. But just
So what are you talking about then?
like just like Bruce's like story arc of like learning to like, oh yeah, you need to have friends, like you don't have to do everything on your own. Like you're not a one-man army, you're just a guy that just learned how to fight, but not that well, I guess. And it's just like, yeah, you need to have friends like Jim where it's like you both have like good intentions. Why don't y'all just work together? Or it's like him being like, yeah, I don't need allies, like saying that to Alfred. And just like him learning like, oh yeah, that's what I like. I have friends and they can help me and all that.
I like the majority of the storyline. It's like the main storyline itself. Like I like the idea of having all the assassins come in and you have to take them all out, and you could have resolved the storyline with what Alfred says. He's just like, hey, just stay here for the night, take the night off, and because nobody knows your identity, just stay in. Mm-hmm. Nobody will harm you. You'll be fine. But then Batman says like, no, I have to be out there, because if I'm not out there, criminals are going to be on the street and they're going to do stuff that's going to bring attention to Batman, and the Batman has to be there. So I'm going to be more of a danger.
And they're going to like do stuff to like citizens.
Yeah.
And cuz like not only does Bruce get an arc where it's like, oh, I need friends to help me do this stuff. It's also there's like a little arc for like Alfred where he's just like, this is just a phase. He's going to get out of it, and hopefully he'll do something else. And then, like, he learns, like, oh, no, we need a Batman here to help us. Because, like, we need him to, like protect, like, the little guy that needs him.
I don't know if this is a popular opinion, but I like the storyline up until Joker's involved. I hated the plot twist of Joker being Black Mask, and he was the person that was running everything, and Black Mask is just this.
You do like it or you don't like it?
I don't like it.
Oh, okay.
Because that was like one thing I was actually pumped about. I'm like, oh, this is not a Joker main villain storyline. When I first was playing it, I'm like, oh, Black Mask seems cool. I don't know too much about him. He seems like this crazy mob boss that is going to be a big threat for Batman. Come to find out, that big threat that Black Mask was taken out before the story even started.
Yeah, and he was just pushed to the side for a side mission that wasn't that good.
Yeah.
And then he's also kind of in Night, and that doesn't really end off his whole thing too well either.
Well, like, my big problem with it is that the Joker is like... The Joker is an interesting character, but he's not so interesting that you have to have him in every single story. And we've seen so many different iterations of the Joker that it's just so, I don't know, it just feels repetitive.
I think especially now. Like, if it came out now, I would have been super mad about it. Because I think right now there's too many like Joker stuff where it's like, come on guys, give me something new. Well, like I want something new. But then when it came out, it's like when it first came out, I was like, because I also mostly look at it like from when it came out, and because I don't love it, but I don't hate it with like a fiery passion. Like I sit here like, you know what, they put it in there and what they did was good. But it's not what I really wanted. But I'm fine with how it was, because it could have been done worse.
I think the Joker, like the iteration of Joker that I've liked, like the only iteration that I've liked after this Joker is Harley Quinn show Joker. Like, legit. Because it's a new
Yeah.
thing. It feels new.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like...
And I feel like he actually has story arcs in that show.
But then there's, like, I don't know, like, the Joker movie, like, I was...
Like, I feel like in the movie, Joaquin Phoenix was good, but it's like, there's too much Joker going on. I don't...
Well, that's the point of it, but...
No,
like,
just, like, in general. Like, because then, like, in the Batman, how there's, like, the end credit scene where Joker's talking with Riddler. It's like, okay, we didn't really need that. And then seeing, like, the deleted scene where it's like, okay, I'm happy that they didn't have it in there, but it's interesting what they have. But it's also like, give me someone else. Because I remember when they first showed that, people were like, oh, is it Two-Face? Woo, that's so cool. But then it's like, oh, some people...
And then he laughs, and then it's just like, okay, yeah, that's the Joker.
No, when he's like, oh yeah, sometimes you're up high on the world like a king, and then you end up being a clown. Bump bump. And it's like, whoa, I wonder who this guy is.
Well, like, the Joker has just been overplayed, and I... Like, Batman... Amy, you'll say... You know this. Batman has a great rogues gallery.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
He has so many interesting villains. Like, Scarecrow was sick when he was in Arkham Knight. And Hugo Strange was sick too. In Arkham City.
Like, if they were to have the Joker, like, play a big part, they should have had it be, like, how he is in, like, I don't know how much about Knight, but, like, in City, how he's, like, more of a side thing.
Like, yeah,
but the main villain is Hugo Strange.
Yeah. Like, that's, like, the best part of, like, you know that he's still a threat and all, but he's not your main focus.
Yeah.
Until, like, he's only your main focus when you're, like,
do you think
to get with him.
Yeah, if they didn't have Joker at all in this game, do you think people would have been, like, not, like, pissed about it, but just being like, why isn't the Joker here? Like, this is the Origins game, and he could totally be in this one. Like, why isn't he in it?
If I were to change it up myself, I think the only thing I would change is keeping Black Mask as the leader of this group, of these, like, this leader of the assassins that are going out.
I feel like...
And then Joker, like, the Joker can pop up. He'll end up being one of these, like... He'll end up being one of these guys that everybody thinks is a joke because there's like, oh, who's this? Who's this
Joker? Whoa!
Well, it'd sort of be like how he is in The Dark Knight. Everybody's just like, who's this guy?
Who's this idiot?
Yeah, who's this clown?
I feel like it could have been interesting if it was like if they did do the reveal and then like it just shows him and Black Mask like fighting each other for that, like, top spot, because then it could be, like, Black Mask has been, like, top dog this whole time, and then suddenly this random guy comes in, and it's like, I'm you now, idiot, take that.
No, I do not like the Joker is actually Black Mask thing.
Well, no, just being, like, probably not being, like, I don't know, I can't think of anything off the top of my head on the spot. I'm sure if I had a week, I could actually no more than a week. I could probably think of something.
Like, what I would probably do is just have him be one of those people that weren't given like the invitation to.
Oh, but he crashes the party.
Yeah, he wasn't given the invitation to.
Dude, he's
have the
Maleficent.
bounty, and he's just like, "Yo, I'm gonna come in here and I'm gonna do what you're doing.
I'm gonna show these guys a better thing. Look at me go! I'm gonna kill the Batman better than all of you guys."
Yeah, but
he's just a man. Why haven't you guys gotten him? I'll show you how to do it.
Yeah,
but I'm like, I don't like it, but then I like what we got. Kind of like. Troy Baker did such an amazing job. All the voice actors did an amazing job.
I think what they did was fine. I think they could have done better if they left the Joker sort of on the sideline or made him one of the assassins.
Yeah,
like
probably not an assassin. Another thing that kind of like irks me is how it's like,
she says irk me.
Oh, the Killer Croc is one of the assassins, when it's like, no, he's just a guy that works with Black Mask. Why are you putting him up on the assassin role? Same with
well, if
like,
you're the guy who has, like, if you were Black Mask, and you're like, oh, I'm giving $50 million to whoever kills the Batman, and you have your big grunt do it instead. You can just be like,
your Muscle Man.
Yeah,
Muscle Man Randy Savage.
It's Macho Man.
Yeah.
Muscle Man is my mom.
My mom.
But yeah, like if you have your main grunt like go out and take the Batman, you could probably get away with being like, here's 25 mil instead.
Yeah.
Or you can just be like,
don't do that to my boy Waylon.
Well,
that's jerks.
That's Killer Croc's whole deal in the comics is that he's just this.
My boy doesn't deserve it.
I know he doesn't deserve it, but that's his whole story arc is that he's disrespected and he's treated like garbage.
Not my son. I love him. He's best boy. He doesn't deserve this.
And are you sure he's best boy?
He doesn't deserve this disrespect.
Are you sure that he's best boy?
He's my best. He's best boy in my heart.
What about Mr. Freeze?
Don't do this to me.
Not every character.
Okay, Mr. Freeze is like. He's like Brendan Fraser. He's a dad. That's all that he is. Killer Croc is like, oh my boy, I feel so bad for you. You just need some love, and get over here and let me give you a hug. But please don't eat me.
He's like a dog, and you're like a baby.
There's so many. This is why I like the Batman Rogues Gallery, because all of them are just like, I just need a little bit of love. That's all that I needed, and I never got it. And I'm like, come here, son. I'll give you a hug. I'll give you some love. Don't worry.
Yeah. Well, like
everyone just needs a hug, and that's what will solve everyone's problem in Gotham.
That's the problem with all these Batman like continuities.
Characters.
All these Batman things like Batman movies, Batman games. It doesn't always need the Joker. The Joker is overrated.
Yeah.
He can. You don't need to have him in every storyline you need because he's not the only interesting character.
Yeah.
And
that's what's fun about the animated series too, because like Joker's like a fun part of it, but like Batman has a relationship with all of his villains, not just the Joker.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's friends with, not friends, but he just like knows all of like his villains super well.
He knows his coworkers very well.
Yeah,
that's they're friends from work.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like it would be awesome to see him having those same kind of relationships that everyone gives him and Joker with him and other villains.
That's why we need a musical.
Batman
with
the musical,
with
the Music Meister.
Like the Batman, the Brave, and the Bold.
Dude, best episode.
Yeah.
Actually, I shouldn't say that.
That's like the one that I can remember so well. I remember watching the heck out of that one.
Yeah, I remember the full episode was up on YouTube and we were like, we're watching it! And just how Black Canary was like also main character in that too.
Yeah.
It's so good.
That's what I loved about Batman the Brave and the Bold. It was always like Batman with a sidekick for the episode taking on a villain.
Mm-hmm. And it wasn't just like, oh, it's just Robin or one of my other kids that's my sidekick. It's people from like the Justice League too.
Yeah, like Blue Beetle. Blue Beetle was fun in that. But
I want to watch that show.
Yeah.
But yeah,
ooh, one of my favorite characters is I think this is my favorite iteration of Bane.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, he's like,
and it makes me upset that people hate how they're like, yeah, they just retconned it and just made it dumb where it's like, oh, the TN1 makes him stupid and that's what that's how they made him dumb in the other games, and it's like, okay, but it's also you're backtracking Like, this is a prequel, so you got to work with what you got, and this is probably the best way they could have gone with it.
Yeah. Well, like, Bane.
Design-wise,
I think
so
Bane
good.
I think Bane is my favorite character of the Rogues Gallery because he's just like he wasn't my favorite when like Batman and Robin was a thing, or like
Yeah, because he was just like
he was just big brawny dude.
big strong men with meat brain, nothing else.
Yeah.
While
But
in the
then
comics and in this game, Dark Knight Rises, and like in the comics, he's like a super smart guy.
Oh yeah, he's not just
Like,
this. He's not just this big brawny dude. He's like
he's
like
not
if
just the
Hulk-
brawn; he's also the brain.
He's like if the Hulk was more composed, but like
Smart Hulk.
It's like he's like smart villain. Smart villain. He's like Smart Hulk, but if he was a super villain.
He's so good. I remember when I was little, I made a superhero character. This is when like Young Justice came out. Me and my friend were like, yeah, we're gonna make our own characters and we'll just like play it out because we're both like 10. And I remember with my character, I was like, oh dude, Bane is gonna be my dad and it'll be real cool. And that was it. And then somehow Catwoman's gonna be my mom, but then they're not. Like, he's my adopted dad, but not really my... Like, it was a whole thing where I was like, I'm going to have the whole Rogues Gallery be my parents because I love them too much.
I think I do remember this.
Yeah.
And I think even then I'm like, this is too complicated.
Yeah.
This is a bit much.
I had my own lore in my brain of that character, but then I had all this lore and then the worst name ever. Animal Girl. Whoa!
Where you were basically just Beast Boy.
I was Beast Boy, but I wasn't green.
I think Bane, his whole storyline of him, I love the idea of just him
I feel
being
like
this
he's
grunt who figures out all of everybody just underestimates him, just thinking that he's this big dumb strong guy.
Yeah, like
But-
in
and
the hotel meeting when Joker's like, "All right, why are you leaving? Go. Do you need me to put like a microphone up to your ear and tell you to go? Just to leave." And he's like, no, he's coming for you, idiot. I'm staying here. And he's like, okay, my guy, you can do whatever you want. I guess we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
And I like it too because he's like the secondary character. Like comparing it to City, where Hugo Strange is like Joker / Black Mask, but also just mostly the Joker.
Mm-hmm.
And then Joker in City is just Bane in Origins.
Yeah.
Like, it's seeing it like that. But yeah, I think this and Dark Knight Rises, because I want to say those two came out a year from one another. I feel like those two gave more appreciation to Bane. Even though Harley Quinn show has best Bane.
Do
Do you have the Three of Hearts? No. I'm gonna blow up that stadium. I'm gonna blow up that chair.
Yeah.
He's so good.
Well, he's just a joke. He's just a joke. And
No, he wants his comfy chair, and that's all that he wants. He's like,
is that not a joke?
I'm just like all you guys. I want a comfy chair. I don't deserve the fold-up chair.
Amy, you're disrespecting him.
No, he's so good.
No, you're disrespecting him. He's like, I don't want the folding chair no more. If you don't give me the folding chair, I'm gonna blow up this city. I also love that that he's Hispanic. I love Hispanic Bane. I don't like the.
He's always been
in the Dark Knight Rises. He's like. I'm not Spanish.
Turned into a dinosaur.
Wow.
Hopefully,
yeah.
they can pick up what I'm actually saying. Because it sounds a little muffled.
Maybe.
No one cared who I was until I was donned by Tom Hardy, and that I was made into the best.
Yeah.
You were merely a boy when you saw me on the big screen.
Oh my gosh. Do you remember? No, we can't. No more tangents. But yeah, I like all the boss fights. Like, Bane's boss fights are super fun. Like...
Yeah. I think the music helps out a lot with it because I think it's fun.
The music in this whole game is so good. There's no track I hate. I love all of them. The blend of Christmas and action is so good. I love it.
Yeah. I was trying to figure out what song you were talking about. Like, what song is called The Blend of Christmas and Action. I'm like,
Boy, I wish.
But that's just the aesthetic.
Yeah. Like, I love how Joker's theme is just the Carol of the Bells. Like, that's like, classic. But then I love all the unique ones. Like, I love Killer Croc's music because we didn't really do it well when we were playing the game. But if you time it good, like, better than we did, then when he's trying to bite your face, it does, like, the Jaws, or no, like the Psycho, like, violin sounding.
There's the violin, like, screech.
Yeah. And it's so good. I love it. And then I just have Deathstroke seared into my brain because it took me,
Yeah.
dude, it was terrible first time playing it, but also I didn't know what I was doing.
And then I solved the case in, like, 2 tries, I think.
When you played it?
Yeah.
Like back then, or when we just played it?
I did it in the first try.
Yeah.
But
anyways,
well, when we first got the game, Amy was having a hissy fit.
Yeah, I was so mad. I spent like probably like
at least an hour.
Yeah, an hour.
And then me and all the fellas.
Yeah, it made it worse because like halfway through, you guys came and you're like, "Oh, what are you doing?" And everyone's like crowding me on the couch while I'm just like, "Oh, please, the pressure is up. Don't do this to me, please."
And I'm usually not good at games, and I'm just like, time to show the fellas I actually have some sort of skill at some sort
Let me have at it. But it's like, you should, like, the whole thing is just like, you have to like press like the counter buttons at certain points or it's not like gonna work well. And he, like, Deathstroke doesn't like to be like pinned up against the wall. That's why he does like the whole like flip move, like that animation that plays all the time, where it's just like they grab his bow staff and then he like flips him over.
Yeah.
So you want to like try to keep him in the middle, and then if you get a high enough combo, then you can do like one of those like combo takedowns to get more damage. There's a lot of stuff that went into this fight.
Yeah.
And I didn't know about it when we first got it, and I was like, I just butt mashed everything, and it works out just fine.
Well,
and
we were
it
like
didn't.
12, so you were like 12 or 13.
I was 13.
Oh, yeah, it was 2013, so I was 14.
Yeah. Whoa. Now you know when I was born. Duh.
Do the math, fellas.
Whoa. 2000? That's insane.
The year 2000.
No.
I know. We weren't quite underwater.
I like how with all the characters, I like the designs of them in this game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know, like, I feel like I just have, like, a different, like, design, like, what I like. Because, like, with Monster House, I'm like, ooh, I like the designs of everyone. But then everyone's like,
it's disgusting.
So gross. They look like they want to do stop motion, but they're not committing to it. And it's like, that's the fun part about it.
That's not the point of it.
That's what I like about it.
Ugly.
No, I like it. It's so good. Everyone hates my opinion, and I don't care.
Just looking at a turd that's like weirdly off-colored, and
no,
like, this looks fine. This is great.
Stop.
Look at this. Get a load of it. And we're just like, it's a turd still.
No.
A turd's
no,
a turd.
Look, it's rainbow colored. Look at it. If you look at it in this light, it has a red tinge to it.
Like if Amy saw like poop. And if she saw a turd and you could see like the food that they ate like earlier.
No, stop.
Amy's like, oh, that's pretty cool.
No.
And, like, I'm not saying Amy actually does this, but
don't compare me to that.
Yeah, I am.
Don't compare Monster House to poop that has food in it.
Yeah. Well,
that's like chunks of. Don't compare to that. Everyone just hates my opinion because I'm a woman.
Don't you dare throw that in there. You just have bad taste.
Okay, anyways, about the character designs in this game. I enjoy them because they're unique from all the other games.
And I don't even have a problem with the design of the characters. You just like automatically threw yourself at it.
No,
Like,
when we were playing the game.
Blamed yourself.
No, when we were playing the game, I was like, I like the character designs, and you're like, no, they're kind of ugly, and I'm like, you're wrong.
Wait,
what do you mean?
What was I talking about?
No, I was saying like we were looking at a cutscene. I think it was the one where it's like showing all the assassins, and I was like, I really like the designs of all of them, even though like they're not like the same as like all the other games. This one's like a unique look, and it's just fun looking. Like everything's like a little bit more cartoony. You're like, no, it's not. These suck. Shut up.
I do not remember this. Run back the clip.
We couldn't find it. Sorry. Gotta go off of my word.
Oh my gosh.
Like just like all the exaggerated stuff. Because, like, with doing, like, more, like, cartoony looks, you, like, exaggerate things. So, like, with Bruce, like, especially, like, with his suit, he has a more bulky suit. Mm-hmm. But then he just looks more angry looking.
I'm still hung up on the fact where I was... Okay, yeah.
Okay, just forget about it, and we're just going to talk about the character designs right now.
You could be putting a lie on the internet.
Yeah, I just like Bane's design in this one.
I do, too. Because... I don't have a problem with it.
No, stop. Like, just comparing him to, like, how he looks in Asylum, which is, like, terrible to, like, compare, but it's, like...
Oh, wait, I remember exactly what... Sorry, continue.
Sticks your finger in my mouth again. Like, it's terrible to compare these two, because they're so different, but just, like, because, like, Bane in Asylum, he has, like, a bulky mask, and there's, like, tubes coming out of him, which, like, just the tubiness is fine, but like I feel like he was
the tubiness.
The tubiness is fine.
I feel like he was too like he was like cartoonishly buff in like those games. Like he was just like gargantuan for like no reason.
Gigantamasaurus.
Yeah, Gigantamasaurus. But then in this one, it's like, oh, he looks like a realistic like buff person.
Like he looks like a big dude.
Yeah, it looks like if I was walking down the road and you look at him, it's like, yeah, that's a real person.
Well, if you're like, yeah, with his big old mask and like his biker jacket.
Dude, it's so good. I love it.
It's not like how...
And I like how it's like a luchador mask. Because then in like Asylum and all the other games, it's like a metal like mask or something. Mm-hmm. Like it's a thick material, while in this one it's like thinner and it's like... I don't know. I just like it. It's so good.
You know, I just realized.
Huh?
How terrible of an idea to have Bane wear a mask in Dark Knight Rises. Like the reasoning behind it is just like, I can't breathe.
I have severe asthma. But yeah, like Joker's design in this game, like I feel like everyone's design totally makes sense with how they bleed into like the other games. But, like, with the Joker, with him, like, I like, it's kind of weird, but, like, they gave him, like, bigger lips, like, and, like, made, like, his smile bigger, but it's not, like, crazy where it's, like, oh, no, like...
It's pretty big. It is crazy big, actually.
He has,
but not like...
He has pretty big lips.
It's not like that one character from the Nickelodeon show where it's just, like, the black and white, like, striped, like, stick with a big old mouth. I can't remember the name of it.
From All Real Monsters?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what the show is. I can't think of what it was called.
But yeah. Like, with him, and I like how bright they made him. Like, they made his hair, like they made it like dark looking. I like the shading in this game.
It looked like Jared Leto.
Kinda. It's like they're blending like what there was, cause like
it's a more toned down. No, he was pretty bright.
I'm kind of mad because I sat here. You said Jared Leto, and my brain said Heath Ledger, and I was like, yeah, I can see that.
No, just remove the tattoos and the. I'm not gonna kill you.
If they made it,
hurt you.
No,
really bad.
If they got Jared Leto's Joker and made it.
Sorry. Keep on going. My mind was
I got PTSD from Suicide Squad.
Bro, I remember
Oof.
watching that at least 3 times.
I remember we went to a screening of it,
Mhm.
and the only good part was just the music because it sounded like a concert. And I was like, man, this is pretty sick, and that was it. But,
I can't remember what I liked about that movie, but yeah, we can keep
yeah.
going.
But yeah, like, because I feel like he's like a good blend of like all the movies that have come out like around that time, like all the different versions of him. And like, because like he has like the colors of like the animated series Joker, where it's like black hair with like the shine being like the green, but then he has like the trench coat of like Heath Ledger and like kind of the smile of his, like where it's like messily painted on. And then it also has like the Killing Joke stuff in it too. That sequence was pretty fun. Like, I just like the dream sequence of it. That's what the Mad Hatter thing like that like side mission was kind of like that Joker like dream sequence, but it's all Alice in Wonderland themed.
But like, that's actually one of my least favorite parts of the game.
Like,
is the Joker origin story.
I think he should just be his own thing, and like no one knows what he is.
That's
but
like,
it's also
that's the cool part.
Like
of
that's
him.
Yeah, but I think just like Killing Joke stuff. I don't know when that comic came out, but just like I think
he should.
That's
have
like that's
origin,
like his definitive
I don't
origin.
think he should have an origin. That's what you just said, Amy. He's like, I think he should be mysterious and not have an origin, but he should have an origin.
No, I just like the like how he got hired on to like put on this costume of the Red Hood for like the Red Hood gang, and then it's all like a complete accident, and it's like because it like mirrors like Bruce's whole thing, like Batman's whole thing, where it's like, oh yeah, it's just wrong place, wrong time, and that's what made us, and it's beautiful, it's poetry.
Oh.
Whoa. Every story should be like poetry, where it rhymes. Whatever the George Lucas quote is about. Alfred's death in this game. I like it because it serves the story. Like, I get why people are like, why do they have Alfred dying in this game when we know he's going to be in the future games? Like, that's dumb. But it's like, okay, that's not the point of it. It's like, it's both of Bruce and Alfred's story arcs where it's like, Bruce's whole thing was like, or no, Alfred was telling Bruce like, hey, you need to stop, you're gonna like kill yourself doing this thing, like you need to stop, while Bruce was like, I don't care about me, I just care about what happens to other people. So it has him realize like, I need to stop being Batman because it's going to get all my friends killed and my loved ones, and I shouldn't love anyone, and I gotta be alone, and But then that makes Alfred sit there and be like, yeah, this is what it feels like to be the little guy that needs Batman to save him. Because if he wasn't there, then I would be dead. And then it's him helping Bruce being like, no, you need to do this because people need Batman. And you need to have people to help you. So it just kind of like, it's like helps them like finish their story arcs or like their personal arcs throughout the story. I think people just get too hung up on the, oh, why did they made him die? And it's like, why would you do that when it's like, it's not the point. That's not the point of him dying. Like, we know he's going to survive.
Yeah.
Because he's in the other ones. It's just all story stuff.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's like, I don't know. Like, I'm very mixed on it. Like, it's okay, and it serves a purpose, I guess. But, and I'm on that side of like, oh, it's just, it's, the problem is that we know, like, there's no stakes. You know that he's gonna live, and that's also same with like the final fight is like, well, the final fight, Bane, the one with Bane, Joker, and Commissioner Gordon. Yeah, like that whole situation that they're in, that's more interesting because it's like, oh, how is like
How's
like,
Bruce gonna?
how's he gonna get out of the situation? Because we know all these people are gonna live.
Yeah.
Like, does
I feel like with that, it's more of like the player being like, "What the heck is gonna happen here?" While with Alfred, that I feel like that's more for the emotion of like the story.
Well, I'm just like, there's no stakes with Alfred because you're like, oh, we know that he's gonna find Alfred, he's gonna save him, and also somehow with this crazy explosion that happened in the Batcave, how do people not know? Like, how do people not know that? Batman's Bruce Wayne at this point because there's an explosion that goes on, and also Bane's men Bane's men go through and they destroy the place, or like Bane's gang go, or just Bane.
Do they go through the?
I have
mansion?
No idea.
That's the thing that.
Well, because he knows.
Bruce Wayne is Batman.
Yeah,
but he just attacks the. I feel like Bane isn't like. Ooh, I know your secret identity, so I'm gonna tell everyone. He's more like, I'm gonna use this information to get to you. Like, I'm not gonna use it to like ruin your career, like in Arkham Knight, where Scarecrow's like, yeah, I'm gonna make you pee your pants, and then I'm gonna unmask you. So then everyone's like, dude, idiot. With him, it's more like, yeah, I'm just gonna get to your loved one since I know who you are and I know what will hurt you most.
My whole thing is that the point of a story is like the hero's journey. You're given your character. Your character is given a dilemma, like the point of no return. I can't remember like the exact like formation of a hero's journey because we learned about this in my English class. Like when
everyone learned it.
Yeah, it was. It was just interesting. Like you can see, there's Batman. Batman is the hero of, or seen like he's the guy. He's the crime fighter of Gotham, and he's been put in the situation that
he's the vigilante. Or how did you say vigilante while we were playing the game?
Oh, I can't remember. But
Vigilantes.
That's so.
It's just
so
like
good.
It's like Chipotle. What?
Chipotle? Chipotle.
Chipotle.
How my dad says Chipotle.
Chipotle.
But like you have Batman, who's the crime fighter, and then you have him put in the situation of like, oh, these criminals are out to kill Batman, and they're only going to be happening this night. But Batman has to stop them because if he doesn't stop them, Gotham will be like in shambles. Theoretically, and so he has to like go through.
They're just going to cause a muck throughout the city,
and so he has to go through doing this by himself, as he believes, and his beliefs change.
And this is 2 years into Batman being Batman.
Yeah, but like
probably should have said that at the very beginning.
But like the what I'm getting at is. Like throughout a hero's journey, you have these stakes of what's going to happen. Like you have the danger of Batman leaving, of Batman like not being careful, not working together with other people. That like things could happen. Like people could figure out who Batman is, and then use that against him, and which is what happened with Bane, or like. I don't know, like the whole thing of a hero's journey is to have these stakes that are put out, and when the stakes are, oh, you're saving Gotham, there's 2 other games that happened previously. You know Gotham's safer, but like if you have these, I don't know, like if you like showing how. Everybody comes together. That's the more interesting part. Like Jim and Batman's story is more compelling than the Joker and Batman, because the Joker and Batman storyline has been seen way too much. It's just like the cat and mouse game, or not cat and mouse game. It's this constant game of oh, I'm going to like you won't kill me because that's your rule, and I won't ever stop trying to kill people because it's just too much fun, and I won't try to kill you because you make it more interesting.
Yeah.
And it's I don't know. That part is, I don't know.
But I feel like this one is like
stakes
showing how they meet and how it's like, because Joker's just like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna kill you like everyone else. But then it's like, oh, why would you save me, a guy that's been massacring this whole hotel?
No, I thought you were gonna say this ho. I'm like, oh, that doesn't make sense. I know it's a Christmas theme, but like,
this sucks.
Yeah.
But no, so he's like massacred like at the hotel and also at the bank. Like he's killed like hundreds of people, and he's just baffled by like, anyone would kill me. Why are you like saving me? Like why are you on this high horse being like, oh, you can't kill anyone. Ooh. And that's the same with Jim, where he's like, yeah, any of my guys would have killed him. And Bruce is like, yeah, the city needs better than that, though. Like we don't need to add any more murderers.
And you see,
into
that's the more
city.
interesting part of the story is the Jim and like the relationship between Jim and Batman is their ideologies and how they come together, and they're like, oh, we can work together. And it's like the trusting thing.
I love it too, just seeing how Jim and Bruce are, how Jim and Batman are in this, and like seeing how they are in like the Batman, where they're like they get along, but there's like Jim who's like, yeah, I don't even know who you are, like just being like, yeah, we've known each other for like 2 years, and I don't even know who you are under the mask, like, oh. You talk about trust issues. Ooh, you haven't even told me who you are, and we're like besties. But I don't know. It's just fun seeing like the difference between the two. Yeah. And just like actually seeing Jim being like, "Oh, whose man's is this? I'm gonna stop him." Mm-hmm. And then they just become besties at the end of it.
I think the gadget system is pretty interesting though. Like gameplay wise, like if you compare it to other games. Like, you have Call of Duty. Literally, all you have is your guns and your grenades. And that... Sorry, I'm, like, also never played a full game of Call of Duty, like a full storyline. I don't think a lot of people play storyline of Call of Duty because...
There's a storyline?
Yeah, my point exactly. But, like, I know there's way more to this, but basic scenario is just, like, you have your gun... You have your gun, your melee weapon, and your grenades. While Batman, in like all the Arkham games, and we're going to also say
Spider-Menace! They have gadgets.
Yeah, they have all these different gadgets that do different things that serve different purposes, which I think Batman does it better than Spider-Man, which is the only thing that I'll give
the Arkham games.
Arkham games over the Spider-Man games.
But I mean, I feel like Batman's more of a gadget person than Spider-Man. And Spider-Man has powers and stuff like that, so that's like another like one up to Batman.
I'm talking more about like game mechanics. Yeah. Like
okay,
like
but
Batman
like
has his batarangs, and you have his
walls though. You don't have that like freedom in Batman though. Like probably like gliding is like the most like it, but then that's not really like wall crawling. It's more like web swinging for him. Yeah. But anyways.
But like when you're like you have all these different gadgets, like you have. I don't know why this is such an interesting gadget for me because you don't see it a lot, but it's the cryptographic sequencer. Like
they don't use it in night like as much.
Not? Oh no! They do have it, but you don't use it as much.
You do have it, but I think it's just to do like Riddler trophies where it's like there's 2 words and you have to like make them 1 word. Like that's it. It's none of like the radio frequency stuff. Yeah, which that's fun, but then it's. I also like it in City because there's like the secret like radio stations on there, like with Scarecrow stuff.
Or you have like the Morse code or whatever. But like all the gadgets are super interesting. Like not only do you have the Batclaw, you have the Batarang, you have the remote Batarang that you can like control, which is sick.
That just makes me think of Batman Returns because he has like a batarang that he throws, but then he like remote controls it. And it hits like 5 people. And I'm like, oh, dude, this is sick.
But like, and then you have like your smoke pellets, your explosive gel.
Mm-hmm.
I prefer the ice bomb over the glue grenade.
Well, like, and with the glue grenade, did you hear what they said about it at the end of the game?
No.
So, a lot of the gadgets that they have in this game, they, like, it had to be, like, retconned. Like, with the grapnel boost, the reason why they didn't have it in, like, Asylum, and, like, they brought it back in City. Like, I don't know if this is the official thing, or if this is what people have, like, chalked it up to be. But it's just being like, oh yeah, well, Bruce's, like, the armor for the Batsuit in Origins is, like, thicker. So, like, he can, like hit those G's of, like, going super fast. While, like, in Asylum and City, he's, like, wearing spandex, so then he could be, like, more flexible and fast. And it's like, oh yeah, he'll get hurt because of how fast he's going.
So what does that have to do? Oh, with the grapnel boost?
Yeah, that's with grapnel boost. With the glue grenade, what they said, this is in-game. Alfred goes and, like, calls up Bratman. Wow. Calls up saying Bruce and Batman. But he calls up Bruce and he's like, hey, you know the glue grenades that you made? Yeah, on Christmas Eve they turned to dust, so you don't have it anymore.
That's funny.
Yeah. Which, like, that one, it's like I see why people are like, well, that's dumb, but it's also like, okay, but it's whatever.
Like how are you
like they're
supposed
trying
to
to be
remove it?
Yeah, they're, like, trying to be creative. Like, it's not like, oh yeah, Bane put juice in him that made him stupid. Like, it's like, I feel like that's good. Also, I'm just making it sound dumber than it is. But it's like they did that better than just, like, all the weapons.
Like, it's also uncreative to be like, oh, you hit Bane so hard that he got a concussion and forgot who Batman was. But you could have also
you
done
struck him dumb,
like,
literally.
When you quote unquote, like, when you actually make Bane die in the game, you could have totally been like, well, what happened?
What happened?
Yeah.
What happened?
like you can just
like he lost his memory.
Yeah. You could easily make it like that, but that's also just uncreative. And so you have to be like, oh, the chemical imbalancement of, like, the T. I always keep on wanting to say the T-800, but I know that's Terminator.
TN1.
TN1.
I was like, wait, what is it now?
And also, I think... Oh, wait, no, never mind. I was about to say it's interesting that... Yeah, we can just skip that.
What?
I thought, like, oh, why didn't Bane just go back, look at his stuff of, like, his research? Batman destroyed the whole hideout.
Uh-huh. But yeah, I like how he figured it out, because it's like... It's totally something that players would look over.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, it's, like, at the very beginning where he's, like, getting interviewed, where Bruce Wayne's getting interviewed by Vicky Vale, and he says, oh, yeah, you ran out of time. And then, at the end of the boss fight where, like, the police show up, and Bruce is like, you just ran out of time. And then Bane is like, hey, wait a minute.
That sounds familiar.
I'm having deja vu. What the heck? But yeah, what other things? With the remote claw, I don't know if other people have chalked it up to this, but I'm like, yeah, they could have just, like, Bruce could have just, like, reused it and made it into the line launcher, because that's basically what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm so happy we didn't get the line launcher in this one, because literally in Asylum and City, you don't start off with it, but then later in the game, Alfred's like, hey, I'm sending the line launcher, go to this spot and get it, and it's part of the main story, and it's like, why is this happening twice in a row? And in City, that's when, like, Robin runs up and is like, here you go, Bruce, and he's like, wow, thanks, and that's it. That's all that we see of him. And it's like, he could have done something else, and I'm kind of mad.
He's like, hey, Batman, if I take off this hood, you'll see that I've shaved my head. He's
you
just
what?
Like, what? And he's like, oh, don't worry about it, here's this.
He's like, you what? And he, like, flips off the building. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, did you play the multiplayer? Actually, yeah, you have, because
I played probably like 5 rounds of that game because then it went to absolute crap.
I never played it. I think the one time I was going to play it, like, the Wi-Fi wasn't working, or it was, like, in the middle of the day, so, like, no one else was going to be on there. So I never got to play it, and I am so sad.
It wasn't even that good.
But it sounds like so much fun. Like you either get to be
part of the Joker gang or the
Bane gang and just
Bane
gang, or be Batman. Like that'd be so fun. Like I'm so sad that I never got to experience it.
I wonder, Kev. I'm going into app development school. I'm going to go to a tech school in like next month. So like, who knows? That's what I can develop is a thing like that.
Just make it for me, and then I'll cry the whole time.
Yeah. Because
either 1, it's terrible, and 2, I'm like, I'm living my childhood dreams. I finally get to play it.
Well, for those who like know me, they'll totally be like, oh yeah, I see why this is a thing. But I remember spending most of my time customizing my characters.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, on the multiplayer?
Oh yeah. Customizing my Joker henchman and customizing my Bane.
I never got to that. I think I just used whatever you did, and I was just like, I'm just gonna be Batman or Robin. I'm not gonna worry about being.
Could you be Batman and Robin? I thought one person was Batman, and then you just like went around trying to take out.
No, because it's Batman and Robin, but I don't know if they're like two. I'm guessing they're two separate like people playing as them.
Oh, okay, and that makes sense because you have more players to do that.
Yeah.
But I remember having.
I
remember it being fun, but not like crazy fun. I think I just got we just had Wi-Fi problems at our house at the time, and so like we just never got around to playing it as much. Well, I don't know what else to talk about the game without
I know me personally, I can play these games over and over again, so I'd love to like stream it or anything like that. I don't know how to do any of that stuff, so don't expect it soon, but I would just love to play games on stream and just hang out. Because it's one thing just videoing yourself doing it.
But getting like interaction and like,
like that would be super fun. But yeah, tell us your thoughts about it. Do you want to see us do the other games? Don't know when we're going to do those. I'm definitely going to... These are my games, and we're going to go through all of them, no matter what you guys say. But they're probably not going to be back-to-back, so who knows when they're going to happen.
Yeah, we'll talk about them progressively.
I don't want to just throw them all in, like, in a few months. I want to space them out.
And I think you guys would rather have it spaced it out, too. Unless you
Spaced it out?
Space it out.
Yeah, and we can play other games, too. Like actually playing, like, multiplayer games.
Mm-hmm.
So then it's not just like, after every boss fight, we can switch off.
Yeah, so we don't have
and then being sad that it's like, you got to do this part, or you got to do this, this sucks, or great, I have to do this thing.
Yeah.
Well, I'm so happy that we somehow planned it where, like, I got to do most of the, like, crime scene stuff.
Yeah.
Because you just did, like, the first one.
I did the introductory.
And you were complaining the whole time.
Yeah, because it's so boring. But, yeah. Cue outro music, I guess, if we haven't already. So, follow us on TikTok and Instagram at AJS_podcast.
And follow our YouTube, where we make more than just the podcast. We make actual videos, like us playing Arkham Origins.
And making spaghetti.
Spaghetti. And Mario Party. We'll have other videos up on there, too.
Yeah.
Like us drawing.
Oh, we already do have it.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, check us out doing other stuff. And if you like us also, before or after you go through all of our stuff, leave a review. If you haven't already left a review and you've watched all of our stuff and listened to all of our stuff,
What the heck?
yeah, you're probably an old person and don't know how to do it, or you just don't have the time and don't care to. You should probably care and have the time to. It would be much
If you love us
appreciated.
enough, then you do it.
I'm not gonna be like, hey, you
I
don't
know.
love us if you don't, but like,
No, it's okay.
yeah.
Also, I have art stuff. Whoa, at Babby_Yammy. Ooh. But that's on Instagram. Oops.
Yeah. Well, you're also on Twitter and all that. Oh, not anymore. Okay, cut that.
I probably have a Twitter, but I never post it. So.
Well,
Instagram.
but catch us in the next episode, and we'll see you next time. Have a merry, merry, merry Boxing Day.